gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm super happy, I'm super excited to have you guys all back here today for what's going to be another tier list, as you can see. And this one's going to be on Cristiano Ronaldo, or as I like to call him, Ronnie seasons. Last week we did Messi seasons, and you guys requested in the comment section that I do Ronaldo seasons now. So I'm giving you guys what you want. I'm a man of the people. I deliver like always. So we're going to be doing this today. This should be really fun, really exciting. As you guys know, if you know me from TikTok, you know I'm not the biggest fan of Ronaldo. It's going to be kind of weird seeing me give this guy so much credit and praise. But you know, it's YouTube. It's different here. We're less trolly, more informative, more like long form videos. So yeah, we're going to give this guy some credit like I usually don't do on my TikTok. And yeah, if you're a Ronaldo fan, if you like my videos and you're a Ronaldo fan, which I'm not sure if those people exist, but if you do, then you're going to be really happy today. We got every season here that he's been a professional, basically, starting with Sporting all the way to current day on this year. We got the tiers on the side, same as the Messi tiers, S, A, B, and C. The criteria for this is going to be the same as we did for Messi. We're going to look at goals that he scored in every competition per season. My stats, by the way, come from the Messi versus Ronaldo website, which is very trusted. Like, it's a very good source. So we're going to use those stats, like I said, every goal from friendlies to fucking international tournaments to club to UCL. We're going to look at all his goal tallies and the games he played and the assists. So all that, and then we're also going to look at the trophies he won individually and as a collective with either Real Madrid or Manchester United or Juventus or Al Nassr at this point. So yeah, it should be really fun. I hope you guys enjoy this, and any other player you guys want to see me do this with, let me know in the comments section. But yeah, enough yapping. Let's get to the tier list. Starting off, right off the bat, I'm putting Ronaldo's first 4 seasons as a pro in C tier. So 02, 03, 03, 04, 04, 05, and 05, 06. Sorry, but you're all going to go in C tier. I did the same thing with Messi with his season ranking, because to me, I can't compare, and I wouldn't compare a 17-year-old Ronaldo or an 18-year-old Ronaldo to his version of himself when he's 25 or 26, because that to me is stupid. Obviously, the production is going to be better later on. The output's going to be better later on. Just the ability and the overall player is going to be better because obviously he was older. It's his prime. So I don't really care enough to talk about Ronaldo at Sporting when he was 17 years old. It's really dumb. It's not dumb, but it's just not good content in my opinion, and people don't really want to hear that. And also, it's just not, it doesn't compare to his later years, especially at Real Madrid and United and Juventus. So for that reason, they're going to go into C tier, and the real tier list is going to start in 06-07. And with that being said, 06-07 is going to go into A tier for me. I know it might shock some people. I think that season was that good by Ronaldo. I mean, look at these numbers. 28 goals, 16 assists, that's 44 GA and 61 appearances. I mean, that's great production, bro. An all-time underrated season by Ronaldo, in my opinion, was this year. Obviously, everybody remembers, especially at United, 07-08, because he won all those trophies. We're going to get to that a little bit later. I don't want to spoil it now. Obviously, everybody knows about 07-08, but I feel like very few people know about how good he was in 06-07. He won PFA Player of the Year. He won the Premier League with United. He finished second in Ballon d'Or voting that year to Kaká, and he actually lost in the Champions League semifinal, or United lost to Milan in the Champions League semifinal to that Kaká-led team. But still, bro, PFA Player of the Tournament, Premier League winner, second in Ballon d'Or voting. That would be Harry Kane's best season today. If you gave Harry Kane that season, he'd retire a made man. And Ronaldo did that shit when he was 20 years old. I mean, the production is still really good. 28 goals, 16 assists. One of his highest assist tallies you're going to see in this whole video, because Ronaldo, obviously, I mean, he's a good playmaker, but not a great, outstanding playmaker. He's not known for assists. He's more known for goals. But still, 28 goals, 16 assists, 44 GA. It's fucking insane. All those trophies, all those awards. I mean, second in Ballon d'Or voting. I got to put it in A tier for me. He excelled at his role. I mean, he was a playmaker who, out on the wing, he was crossing the ball into Berbatov and Rooney, and he was doing his job very well. He was exceeding at his role. So I value that very highly. And still, his production was very good, and all the trophies that I mentioned. So for that reason, like I said, it's going to go into A tier. Moving on to 07-08, very clearly going to be an S tier season. I mean, we all know about this season. This season, Ronaldo had 46 goals, 8 assists. That's 54 GA and 61 appearances. Ballon d'Or, Golden Boot. I mean, everything. He won everything this season. He won the UEFA Player of the Year. He won the Premier League with United. He won the UCL with United, obviously. He scored a goal in the final in Moscow against Chelsea. He won, I think, every single individual award you can win as a footballer in one season. Like when it comes to player of the tournament for your league and Ballon d'Or and Golden Boot, he won all those awards. The production was outstanding. The player itself, he was outstanding. Out on the wing on that counter attack with Giggs and Tevez and Rooney and Park. I mean, the guy was fucking insane. 46 goals is crazy. 8 assists. Obviously, his numbers came down from the previous season. He had way more goals, way less assists. But that was also his role changing at United. Obviously, he was playing less, deeper as a midfielder, more up top, just being that final piece in that counter attack. And it shows because 46 goals is crazy. Still to this day, the last player in the Premier League to win the Ballon d'Or, and it happened 14 years ago. So yeah, we know about Ronaldo in 07-08. It's going to be S tier pretty clearly. Moving on to 08-09, to me it's going to go in B tier. One of Ronaldo's worst seasons as a pro, not as a pro, but once he got into his prime, one of his worst seasons. Obviously, his last year at United. This season he had 27 goals and 9 assists. That's 36 GA and 60 appearances, which is one of his worst goal and assist per game ratios in his career. He won the Premier League, he won the League Cup, of. He didn't win the Ballon d'Or. He didn't win the Golden Boot. He didn't win PFA Player of the Tournament or Player of the Year because that went obviously to Ryan Giggs, his teammate. But yeah, I just think like obviously he won some great trophies. The Premier League is great. And also United made the Champions League final and lost to Barcelona in Rome. Ronaldo was good in that Champions League campaign, but not great. He was not one of the top goal scorers, not even in the top 10, I'm pretty sure. He had that goal against Arsenal in the semi-final, which is great. But other than that, not really any memorable moments. In the final, he wasn't great. In terms of the league season, I think he was like top 3 goal scorer in the Prem, and he actually missed a couple games because he had surgery in the offseason. So I think he missed the first like month of football in the Prem. So for that reason, it's going to go into B tier. His next season, 09-10, is also going to go into B tier for me. Back-to-back years where he wasn't really that great at Ronaldo just yet. Messi was kind of lapping him at this point in their career, but he obviously bounced back. But in this season specifically, in 09-10, he had 34 goals and 11 assists. That's 45 GA and 46 appearances, which is a great goal and assist per game ratio, much better than the previous year. But this season, he was like in a new league, trying to acclimate himself to it. He wasn't really known as like the man on that Real Madrid team just yet because Raul and a lot of the older players were still there. I mean, he wore number 9, bro. Like this Ronaldo has very it's his worst season at Real Madrid to me by far. Like the lore of this Ronaldo isn't nearly as good as the later years. The production isn't nearly as good. The trophies, they didn't win a single trophy this season under Manuel Pellegrini. They didn't win the Copa del Rey. They didn't win La Liga. They didn't win the UCL. They actually got knocked out in the UCL in the round of 16 by Lyon, which is people actually I think forget about that. But yeah, for me, 09-10, just not a great Ronaldo season. I mean, the production, 45 GA. For any other player in history besides Messi and Ronaldo, it'd be great. But for them, I mean, it's just not good enough to be above B tier. I just realized I put the 2010, 2011 picture in B tier instead of the one in 2009, 2010, but I just fixed that, so sorry if you noticed that. My bad, I just realized that I fixed it. But anyway, 2010, 2011 is going to go into A tier for me. Now, this season by Ronaldo was fucking insane in terms of like his ability as a player. He was so fucking good. Obviously, the first season with Mourinho, when we really started like to pick up the pace while he was at Real Madrid, his first great season at the club, in my opinion at least. That's why I put it in A tier. This season, he had 56 goals, 17 assists, at 73 GA and 59 appearances, which is fucking insane. He won the Golden Boot. He was Pichichi of La Liga. He scored, I think, 6 hat-tricks in this campaign overall. He scored the winner against Barcelona in the Copa del Rey final in the Mestalla, that fucking header that still haunts me to this day. Now, the trophies in and of itself, he only won the Copa del Rey. They didn't win the UCL. They didn't win La Liga, obviously. They lost in the UCL to Barcelona. They lost in La Liga to Barcelona, of course. And Ronaldo actually ghosted for a lot of the Barcelona games. He ghosted in the 5-0. He ghosted in the UCL semi-final that season. So I'm kind of like against Barca that season, both legs, by the way. So I'm kind of taking that into account as to why I'm putting it in A tier, or not an A tier, not an S tier. But still, the production was great. The player in and of itself, I mean, he was like his speed, his dribbling, his ability, his shooting was all fucking crazy this season. The guy was on a fucking tear. I'm gonna put this one in A tier. Keep in mind, like I said, the production was great. The player in and of itself was great. The trophies you won, I mean, the Golden Boot was amazing, and winning the UCL in the way that he did it, 6 hat-tricks, and then the Copa del Rey, the way he did it, scoring the winner against Barcelona is all fantastic. But I think he has better seasons later on. 2011, 2012. S tier. S tier season. If it wasn't for Messi having the greatest season in the history of football, this season by Ronaldo would be talked about a lot better. Or the people would talk about it a lot more, because look at these numbers, bro. 69 goals, 18 assists, that's 87 GA in 69 appearances. A lot of 69 here, but we like it like that. He won La Liga. He beat Barcelona. Real Madrid beat Pep Guardiola's Barcelona to win La Liga with 100 points. Honestly, to me, the greatest Real Madrid team that I've ever seen was 11-12. Ozil, Ronaldo, Higuain, fucking Benzema on the counter-attack. They were fucking deadly, bro. He scored 3 goals past Barca this season, actually, Ronaldo did. He scored 2 in the Copa del Rey in back-to-back games, and he scored 1 also in the Bernabeu that season in the league. In the Camp Nou, sorry, in the league. I mean, he was fucking insanely good in the UCL. Real Madrid got knocked out by Bayern Munich in the UCL in the semifinals, in a game where Ronaldo missed a penalty in the shootout. But nobody ever talks about that. Nobody ever talks about how Ronaldo missed a penalty in the shootout. Every time Messi misses a penalty, I gotta hear about it for fucking 8 years. Anytime Ronaldo misses a penalty, everybody just chalks it up. But anyway, this is not a Ronaldo hating video. He did actually score 2 goals in that game, though, like to bring them back to like on aggregate. So he did a really good job in that game. He was actually not the reason why they lost whatsoever. I mean, he missed the penalty, but he was the whole reason why they were in the game in the first place. And yeah, he was just utterly insane. 7 hat-tricks this campaign, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I already said that, but he had 7 hat-tricks. And yeah, winning La Liga. If it wasn't for Messi, he would have won the Ballon d'Or 100%. I think he finished he finished significantly behind Messi in the voting, but that's just because Messi had the greatest season in the history of football. But yeah, 2011, 2012. If you know, you know. You know how good this guy was. It's gonna go in S tier for me. 13-14 S tier season. S tier season, there's no debate about that. This season, Ronaldo had 62 goals, 15 assists, at 77 GA, and 57 appearances. That goal and assist per game ratio is fucking insane. 77 GA and 57 appearances is insane. He won the Ballon d'Or, he won the Golden Boot, he won the UCL, he was UCL top goal scorer, they won the Copa del Rey as well, Real Madrid did. He had the greatest UCL campaign of all time, or one of the greatest in my opinion, where he scored 17 goals, which is still to this day a record. Scored in the final against obviously Atletico Madrid, scored in the semifinal, scored a brace, I'm pretty sure, against Bayern Munich in Allianz Arena. The guy was on a fucking tear this season, on a fucking tear. To me, the only season you could argue he was better than Messi, and this to me would be Ronaldo's best season. Like, if I had to pick one Ronaldo season, like one version of Ronaldo to pick for me, it'd be 13-14, because he was just utterly insane. His dribbling was ridiculous. His shooting was ridiculous. Weak foot, like fucking right foot, left foot, header, everything. This guy had everything in his arsenal to beat you. It was almost a guarantee he was going to score a goal per game. When I checked the scores for Real Madrid in that season, I didn't see Ronaldo on the score sheet, basically for every season in his career. But for this season specifically, I was like, there's no way he didn't score. Like, this guy scored almost every single game. His UCL campaign, like I said, was extremely dominant and still holds a record for most goals in a UCL campaign, most GA and actually in a UCL campaign. I'm pretty sure Ronaldo had it this season. And yeah, the guy was fucking crazy. S tier for me. Anybody who watched Ronaldo this season knows how good he was. And yeah, there's really not much else to say. 14-15 Ronaldo. S tier. S tier. If it wasn't for Messi and Barcelona and what they did that season, this Ronaldo season would be his greatest season of all time, in my opinion. Because the only reason why he didn't win the Ballon d'Or is because what Messi did was better. But this season, Ronaldo had 66 goals and 21 assists. His highest assist total of his career. This guy was so complete this season. That's 87 GA in 60 appearances. He won the Golden Boot. He was UCL top goal scorer along with Messi and Neymar, of course. They won the UEFA Super Cup, Real Madrid did, but and the Club World Cup, but that's really not... I wouldn't count that as a significant trophy in terms of like the big three, when it comes to like domestic cup and UCL and obviously league. He had 8 games with 3+ goals. 8 games with 3+ goals. I mean, this guy was fucking insane. He scored 5 goals against Granada this season, I'm pretty sure. He had a bunch of hat tricks. I mean, I think that's the most games with like 3 or more goals in the history of football. 8 games, which is fucking crazy. I mean, to put it into context, I think Kun Agüero has 12 career hat tricks and like he has 12 career hat tricks. And Ronaldo had 8 like games this season with 3 or more goals, which is insane. I mean, the guy was crazy. The guy was fucking crazy. I remember some of the performances he had against Valencia and against Sevilla. He was insane. I think against Malaga as well. Or maybe I'm blanking on the team. Maybe I'm getting the team wrong. But he had some insane games in La Liga this season. Obviously, Real Madrid were not able to defend their UCL crown because they lost to Juventus in the semifinal. But it wasn't because of Ronaldo, because he was UCL top goal scorer. I mean, the guy was on a fucking tear. On a tear. One of the best seasons I've ever seen him have, honestly, in my opinion. Even though the trophies don't really back it up. But the production and the way he played. He was such a able playmaker, such a willing playmaker, such a willing goal scorer, and he could score free kicks, and he could score fucking long shots, and he could score headers, he could score tap-ins, he could score penalties, he could do it all this season. So for that reason, despite not winning many significant trophies, to me it's going to go into S tier, because I remember this season very vividly. I know that if it wasn't for Messi, this would be Ronaldo's Ballon d'Or 100%, like it would be set in stone. Moving on to 15-16, this one to me is going to go in S tier as well. I think this would be Ronaldo's favorite season of his career. I honestly think if you ask Ronaldo, what's your favorite season of all time, he would pick this one, because I mean, he won the Euro with Portugal, and that means a lot to him, obviously winning their first international trophy. He wasn't great in that Euro run per se, but still he won it with them, which is amazing. Obviously, this season his stats were 57 goals, 17 assists, that's 74 GA and 61 appearances. Again, a crazy goal and assist per game ratio. He won the Ballon d'Or, he was UCL top goal scorer. Like I said, he won the UCL. Wasn't really that great in the knockout rounds of the UCL post quarterfinal after he scored the hat-trick against Wolfsburg, but in the still, I mean, he was good. He was great against Roma. He was good in the group stages. He was the reason why they went through against Wolfsburg, scoring that hat-trick. And yeah, he was just really good this season. I remember he scored a goal against Barca in the Camp Nou in April of that year. He scored a beautiful goal. He scored the winner of that game. He scored against Real Madrid. He scored against Atletico Madrid a couple goals as well. I mean, the guy was just on a tear. He was amazing, and his trophy cabinet backs that up, winning his first international trophy in his career with Portugal, winning the UCL, being the top scorer of the competition, and just being like having this production. I think it warrants putting it in S tier. Moving on to 16-17, again S tier. To me, his second greatest season of his career, his best Champions League run, in my opinion, was this one, more than 13-14, because I think, like, in terms of like how inevitable he was. Honestly, it was just an insane Champions League campaign from him. Let's get into the numbers though, like his stats. He had 56 goals, 13 assists, at 69 GA in 56 appearances, which again, fucking insane. He won the Ballon d'Or, he won UCL top goal scorer, he won La Liga with Real Madrid. This to me is the best Real Madrid team that I've ever seen, or like top 2 along with 11-12. But this one had the trophies to like show for it. And like unlike that other team that didn't win the UCL, this one won both UCL and La Liga. I mean, the guy was insanely good in the UCL. He's got off to a slow start in the group stages, but post that, he scored 10 goals in his final 5 games in the UCL. He scored a hat-trick against Bayern Munich. He scored 2 goals in the Allianz Arena against Bayern. Then he scored a hat-trick at home, albeit with offside goals. Then in the away leg, then in the semifinals against Atletico Madrid, he scored that very famous hat-trick. And then he scored, I think, 1 goal. No, he actually didn't score a single goal in the away leg. But then in the final, he scored 2 goals. So that's 3. Yeah, he scored like 10 goals in the last 5 games, which is fucking crazy. His finishing was amazing. He was more of like in the box, more of a poacher, like in that sense. But he could still hit you, like he could still score a goal from like 30 yards out if he wanted to. The guy was insanely good. Like I said, UCL campaign alone puts this one in S tier for me. And yeah, that's why it's there. And just like his output overall was also amazing. And the trophies that he won with Real Madrid, it's got to be an S tier. Moving on to 17-18, that one to me is going to go in A tier. I think this season Ronaldo like deserved the Ballon d'Or. I think Messi, Ronaldo, and Griezmann all had a better case than Modric, but obviously he didn't win it. But in terms of like production, he had 54 goals, 11 assists, that's 65 GA and 55 appearances. Obviously his final season for Real Madrid, where he won the UCL, completed the 3P, was UCL top goal scorer. In the World Cup wasn't really great, lost to Uruguay in the round of 16, but still, bro, the production was really good. The trophies individually weren't really there in terms of like golden boots or Ballon d'Ors, but like I said, he easily could have won the Ballon d'Or over Luka Modric if it wasn't for Modric's World Cup run. But he was amazing. I mean, Real Madrid in La Liga had kind of a shitty year, and the Copa they didn't win it. They won the UCL, but it was one of the weaker runs to the UCL, like, or winning it. And Kiev in the final wasn't great. In the semifinals against Bayern Munich, didn't really perform to his standard like he usually does in like all the other UCL knockout rounds. So for that reason, not knocking him, it's still a fantastic season, but it's going to be an A tier for me. Now we're starting with Juventus Ronaldo. His first season, 18-19 for me, is going to go in B tier. Arguably his worst season at Juventus. He was still really fucking good. He was a goal machine. The guy had 48 goals. 31 goals, 10 assists in 47 games. That's 41 GA in 47 games, like I said. He got knocked out by Ajax in the UCL quarterfinals, I'm pretty sure, but he did score a goal in both legs, and he did have the hat-trick against Atletico Madrid in the previous round, which is obviously a very iconic hat-trick by him. He won the Serie A, he won the Italian Super Cup, but to me, like, I think Ronaldo, I don't really value the Serie A that much, the same way I don't value the Ligue 1 for Messi when he went to PSG, because those teams usually win those trophies. For me, I value them in terms of like what they did in the UCL, and while Ronaldo had a very good UCL run, scoring the hat-trick and scoring in both legs, like I mentioned against Ajax, it's still, like, I really, if this team would have got to the semifinals, and if he would have had a little bit more goals, like more production in terms of goals, because 31 goals for Ronaldo, especially this season because he was still arguably in his prime, it's kind of subpar for him. Now, granted, that team around him wasn't the best, but it also wasn't shit. But 41 GA and 47 apps again for Ronaldo isn't really that amazing. And, you know, quarterfinals in the UCL after winning 3 straight and then only winning the Serie A and the Italian Super Cup, which we don't really give a fuck about. To me, that's going to be an A tier. Again, not a bad season whatsoever. The output is great compared to any other player in history. That'd be one of the best output seasons. But for Ronaldo, especially like in this time when he was like arguably still in his prime, like I mentioned, it's going to go in B tier for me. Moving on to 19-20, this season for me, and I know Ronaldo fans are probably going to get mad at this video at this point, but it's also going to go in B tier for me. I mean, the stats were great, okay? He had 48 goals, 5 assists, that's 53 GA and 52 appearances. However, they got knocked out by Lyon in the round of 16 of the Champions League, which is not great whatsoever. They won the Serie A, but again, that was their 9th straight Serie A for Juventus. They didn't win the Coppa Italia. Ronaldo did not win the Ballon d'Or. He did not win the Golden Boot. He wasn't even, I'm pretty sure he wasn't even Serie A top goal scorer at that point. I think Ciro Immobile actually won the Golden Boot that year in the Serie A. So he wasn't even top scorer of his own league that year. But still, 48 goals, 5 assists, 53 GA, and 52 appearances, more than a goal and assist per game is amazing. And I know the fans are going to say, oh, much better than Messi and PSG. Well, when Messi's first season at PSG came around, when I put it in the tier list, it was C tier for me. I put the season in C tier. So for me, it's not like I'm being biased here with Ronaldo. I just don't think his time at Juventus was about winning Serie A's and scoring a bunch of goals. It was about winning Champions Leagues. The same thing that Messi had to do while he was at PSG and didn't achieve it. So for me, Ronaldo, this season specifically, it's just going to go in B tier because, again, the production was good. But in terms of, like, what he set out to accomplish and, like, the player in and of itself, he scored some great goals, but he was more of a poacher, more like in the box, you know what I'm saying? So for me, that's going to put him in B tier. Again, I'm not knocking him, but look at the seasons above this one. Look at Ronaldo at United, at Real Madrid. I mean, compare that Ronaldo to compare those Ronaldos to this one that I'm ranking right now in Juventus. They don't even come close, bro. In terms of production and in terms of like trophies won, in terms of just like Ronaldo, like the inevitability of him and scoring goals and just doing whatever it takes for his team to win, it just wasn't quite there for me at this time. So for that reason, don't get mad, but I'm putting it in B tier. Moving on to 2020-2021, his final season at Juventus. You guessed it, bro. It's gonna go in B tier. I don't think Ronaldo had a single season at Juve that was better than B tier. And this season he had 46 goals, 7 assists, that's 53 GA and 59 appearances. He was Serie A top goal scorer. He got knocked out in the round of 16 of the Champions League by Porto, I'm pretty sure. He was also the Euro top goal scorer. But this season, I mean, Juventus only won the Coppa Italia. They like their Serie A dominance came to an end this season, and obviously it wasn't Ronaldo's fault because he wasn't the problem on that team. He was actually one of the only solutions and the only good players on that team. But again, bro, I'm comparing Ronaldo to himself. You guys gotta understand that. I'm not comparing Ronaldo to Messi or to Maradona or to Pelé. I'm comparing Ronaldo to like himself and his standard and like what he's achieved in his career. So for me, at his time at Juventus, he scored a bunch of goals. I think he scored over 100 goals at Juventus, which is insane. But the guy was a goal scorer. That's what he was brought in to do. And for me, I just can't. it doesn't compare. Juventus Ronaldo does not compare to him at Real Madrid or at Man United because he was at his prime there. I mean, he was 25, 26, 27, scoring a bunch of goals, winning a bunch of trophies, winning Ballon d'Ors, winning Golden Boots. And in this time, he was scoring a bunch of goals, winning a Serie A, getting knocked out in the round of 16. Scoring a bunch of goals, winning a Coppa Italia, getting knocked out in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just consistent. It wasn't like he could win a Serie A and maybe reach a UCL semifinal or reach a UCL final or do any of that. So for me, or finish top 2 in Ballon d'Or voting, or finish top, or like win the Golden Boot. He scored a bunch of goals. I mean, he was like Gonzalo Higuain basically. I'm not saying that to like offend Ronaldo or offend his fans or like take shots at him. But to me, I just don't think that I can objectively put Ronaldo and Juventus in the same tiers that I can with he was at Real Madrid in his prime. It just doesn't make sense to me. So for that reason, not a single Ronaldo Juventus season is going to go above B tier. Moving on to 2021-2022, his first season back at United, it's going to go in B tier for me. I think this season by a lot of Ronaldo fans is overrated. Now, I don't think he was bad. And I think he did a pretty good job, but to me, it just wasn't really as good as many people make it out to be. He scored 32 goals, he had 4 assists, he had 36 GA and 49 appearances, which is good but not great. He carried United to 6th place in the Premier League and the round of 16 of the Champions League. He smashed a little kid's phone, so that also brings him down for me. And yeah, I just wasn't really like, he scored some good goals. I mean, he had good performances against Tottenham, and in the UCL knock in the group stages, he carried them against Villarreal and against Atalanta. He had good games there. But once they got to like the nitty gritty, the UCL round of 16, he ghosted both legs against Atletico. He wasn't good against Atletico in those games. And for me, I just think people overrate the season a little bit too much. He was still good. I mean, for doing this at 38 years old or 37 or whatever he was, it's pretty fucking crazy. But it's just not nearly as good as people make it out to be. And then his last 2 seasons for me are both gonna go in C tier. I'm not gonna fucking rate the Saudi League. To me, that's stupid. There's no way I'm putting any stock in that. I don't care how many goals he scored. He could score 100 goals in the Saudi League this season. I really don't care. So yeah, I'm not even gonna read the stats because they don't matter. It's gonna be in C tier. And that, guys, is the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. A little bit longer today, but you know, Ronaldo has a lot of fucking seasons, so I have to go through them all and read all the stats. And so if I was talking way too fast, it's because I don't want this video to be too long, and also because I can't help myself. But anyway, I love every single one of you. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.